We will start with Scott in Columbus, Ohio. Scott asked the question. Everyone has said Lincoln Kienholz has outplayed Julian Sayin the last couple weeks at Ohio State scrimmage. Is this a big deal or just part of a quarterback competition where the fans are craving something? Also, what's the mindset of guys in a quarterback competition, especially in the spring? Great question, Scott. Everybody, self-included, everybody wants the new toy to be the thing that we play with the most, right? I think about Christmas Day, and I had, very fortunate, had a lot of really neat toys as a kid growing up, right? But the toys I got on Christmas Day, they might not be as good as the toys I already had, but guess what? On Christmas, I was playing with that new toy. Why? Because it was new. I think we as fans have a similar approach. Lincoln Kienholz's been there for a little while. He's got a pretty good grasp of the system, right? He's been around and has been through springs and has been through fall camps and has played in live action games where real bullets are flying, and frankly, probably has a pretty good feel for what Ohio State's defense is going to be as well, because he's attacked it in the past, whether it's running scout team or going against them in spring scrimmages and fall scrimmages in the past. So the fact that here we are 8, 10, 12 days into spring practice, and so far the veteran player right now might be performing with a little more consistency than the young player with 5 stars next to his name, should not come as a huge surprise. I am consistently amazed at how many people just expect freshmen, whether they have 5 stars or 4 stars, to go in and just blow the world away from day one. Guys, it is highly unlikely. And I know that Julian Sayin has been around college football now for a year. I know he was on the roster last year. I know he went through spring. I know he's gone through summer and fall camp. I know he's done all those things, but he was basically trying to drink out of a fire hose last year, because that's what freshman year is all about. There are very few young players that have been outrageously good at the quarterback spot as a freshman or redshirt freshman. Very few. Jameis Winston, Johnny Manziel, Trevor Lawrence. There have been a handful. Sure, there have been a handful. But for the most part, guys, a vast majority of the players that step into the situation do so with kind of a year under their belt. I think about recent years, whether it was Bryce Young learning from Mac Jones that first year, figuring it out over the course of that season, and then taking over in 21, where he went on to win the Heisman Trophy. We've seen that happen a million times. Who's one of the best players in the history of college football? That's Tim Tebow. What did Tim Tebow do? Well, in 2006, he learned behind Chris Leak and got a little bit of time, a little bit of playing time, and then there you go. Next year, when he was the full-time guy after they won the national championship in 2006, he became the full-time guy and won the Heisman in 2007. There's a million examples of guys that just take a little bit of time before they're capable of playing at an All-American level. And if you're the quarterback at Ohio State, you are expected to play at or close to All Big Ten and or All-American level. Julian Sayin might very well be the guy for the Buckeyes. That could definitely happen. But the fact that we're midway or 2/3 of the way through spring and he hasn't just lapped the field in the quarterback spot should not be of significant concern. It's to be expected, if I'm going to be completely honest. We've talked similarly about what's gone on in Tuscaloosa. And a lot of people have been losing their mind because I said about a week ago or whatnot that Ty Simpson has a good control of where things are with the quarterback spot. Why? Because he should. He's been on campus for 3 years, and the guys he's competing against are a redshirt freshman and a true freshman that's been on campus for 8 practices. The veteran is going to have a significant leg up when you are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 practices into spring. If that weren't the case, that'd be a pretty big surprise. But that's also why we're seeing more and more coaches dragging these quarterback competitions well into the fall. I'll use one more example of a guy who I think most feel pretty confident about, right? This upcoming season, and that's Arch Manning. I encourage all of you to go back and familiarize yourself with what happened with Arch Manning in his first spring. He was competing at that point for the backup role. And guess what? He got beat out and was the third string quarterback a few years back because Malik Murphy was the backup and had an outstanding spring and an even better spring game. Does that mean that Arch Manning can't play? No. Just means that the veteran guy that had been in the offense for a little bit longer was a little further ahead than the true freshman that had been on campus for 15 practices. So don't panic. If you really want the young guy to be the guy, that's fine. But it might take a little longer than you might want it to, because we always want what's new and we always want to play with what's exciting and has not let us down just yet.